What's going on, guys? This is Tommy from the Castaway Travelers. Welcome back to our next video. Are you dreaming of white sand, turquoise water, and unlimited drinks, but worried that the Caribbean is way too expensive for traveling in 2025? I've got some great news for you. In this video, I'm breaking down the best affordable all-inclusive Caribbean resorts for the budget travelers and military families. You're going to want to stick around for this one. Plus, I'm going to also discuss some tips to book your entire vacation for under $1,000 per person. Let's jump in and make your dream getaway a reality. So first, deciding where to go. So let's look at some of the top budget-friendly Caribbean destinations. The 5 suggestions that I do have in the Caribbean also have direct flights from the United States and offer tons of inclusive options, as well as solid military and travel discounts as a whole. Top 5 on my list are going to be Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Bahamas, and Costa Rica. So for Dominican Republic, Punta Cana is a paradise on a budget, with certain resorts starting at under $120 per person per night. And in Jamaica, Montego Bay has beautiful beaches and popular all-inclusive areas. Third on my list is Puerto Rico. No passports needed, and you can also use US dollars, which is super advantageous for people not having to worry about that currency exchange, and it's also great for military families. The Bahamas specifically is an easy cruise and also has flight options directly from Florida. Last but not least is Costa Rica. Not technically the Caribbean, but it's still a tropical gem with a lot of eco-adventures, things to do, as well as military family resorts. So all of these offer all-inclusive packages. They're safe, family-friendly resorts, as well as adult-only getaways. And also, there's some hidden military perks that you'll definitely love. So let's talk about resorts that give you the most value without draining your bank account. Here are my top 3 picks for 2025, and all of these all-inclusive resorts on this next list is for $150 a night or less. So the Royalton in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, it's a family-friendly resort and it's beachfront. Often tends to be $135 per person per night, and it's all-inclusive. And the military discounts through American Forces Travel or Booking.com with ID Me tend to save you a lot more. Next on this list is going to be Ocean Coral Spring, which is over in Jamaica. It's one of the newer resorts, and it has a lazy river, pools, as well as great food. So it tends to be around $140 per night per person, and frequently it is on sale. So if you book directly, I want to make sure that you ask about US military rates. Last but not least is going to be Divi Resorts, which is in Aruba, St. Croix, and Barbados. And they offer 15% military discount year-round. No blackout dates for this. 100% year-round. This is great for couples, this is great for families, and you can even use the Armed Forces Vacation Club for certain week-long stays under $400. And if you want some additional luxury for your next all-inclusive vacation, I would suggest looking into Sandals. Everyone tends to hear about Sandals resorts, but they have military rates for up to 10% off, plus specials year-round, so it's definitely worth checking out. All right, here's where the savings really add up. Here's some military and travel hacks to save big. So military travelers, I want you to use these. I want you to use the Armed Forces Vacation Club, where you can get resort days for under $409 per week, with no hidden fees attached. Next, as I mentioned in some of my other videos, American Forces Travel. I want you to search for all-inclusive resorts, and these deals will pop up and tend to be often cheaper than even Expedia or even Booking.com. And as I just mentioned, Sandals and Beaches Resorts offer 10% off for active duty, veterans, as well as military retirees. And for my budget travelers, I want you to give these a try. I want you to book specifically through shoulder season. So this tends to be late April through early June, or September to early November. And when you're doing this, I want you to try and use your credit card points. So you can transfer, for example, your Chase or American Express points to cover the cost of the flights or those specific resort stays. And then you can also select Google Flight Alerts, so you get an email or a notification anytime there's specific deals. And this will help you keep a watchful eye for different flash sales that they have from JetBlue, Southwest, or even Frontier Airlines. And this allows you to potentially fly round trip to the Caribbean for just under $300 if you time it right. So when should you go, and what should you watch out for when you're going on these all-inclusive vacations? So some of the best months in 2025 to go tend to offer lower prices as well as fewer crowds, which is way more advantageous for you as a traveler. So if you go in late April to early June, right after spring break, I want you to go right after that point, right before the summer rush. And then if you're going between September and early November, it's definitely cheaper, but I want you to be mindful of hurricane season. And sometimes these trips can get a little hairy and they could potentially get canceled. For complete times of the year to avoid, due to many other people looking to go at that time, as well as the prices increasing excrementally, that's going to be Christmas week, spring break, as well as the 4th of July, where you're going to see prices skyrocket, as well as packed resorts anywhere in the Caribbean. So a pro tip I do have is to get travel insurance, especially during hurricane season, as I mentioned. That's going to be June to November is technically hurricane season, with a lot of these storms running right through the Caribbean. And also for military, USAA and Military One Source offer great options for these military travel insurance. So what's technically included when you go all-inclusive, and what isn't? So here's what's usually included at most all-inclusives. Unlimited food, unlimited drink. There's going to always be a beach and pool, and you'll have access to those amenities. Non-motorized water sports, entertainment and live shows, as well as kids club at some of the resorts that are family resorts. And what's not included? That's going to be your airport transfers, unless it's definitely noted in your paperwork when you're booking, spa treatments, off-resort excursions, or tips for the staff members. A budget tip I do have is to book your excursions through Viator or the local kiosks, not at the resort desk. This will save you 20 to 30%. So all in all, you can definitely have your dream Caribbean vacation in 2025 without spending thousands. So with the right resort, the right timing, and the right travel hacks, you can plan a week-long all-inclusive trip for just under $1,000 per person. I'm going to say that again, $1,000 per person at the most. This is extremely budget-friendly and will help anyone's wallet. And also, don't forget to pack in those additional military deals if you qualify for those. So if this video helped, definitely drop a like, subscribe for more travel deals and destination guides, and drop a comment below. So where's your ideal dream island escape? I'll reply with the savings tips associated. Thanks for watching, guys, and safe travels.